I want people to understand that the life starts with the environment, and once you get the environment on a good, angle, investors will come, things will change because inspiration is also born from air. And imagine breathing in air that is polluted. You never get inspired to do anything good.
Mama me prayer na mompe shovel na mompe rake mompe pi me hia pipi mpese me bura gote mo na me jinia ma pi. I feel so patriotic, Charlie, just because I have this gentleman in Ghana currently are all making waves, turning a lot of things around. In the person of the Buz Stop Boys. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir.
You know they look like a boy.
You still not a boy there.
Oh, no.
My old boys have be boy. As they call them
Old boy.
So
Okay.
they are still boys.
I hear say old boy, I know I old boy.
Yeah, old boy.
Old boy, I know I know old boy. Charlie,
Yeah.
Buz Stop Boys, I'm so proud of you, boss.
Thank you, senior.
Currently, it looks like it had a soft beginning. It looks like you just started now, now. Community has realized what you are doing, your contribution to society and all that, and you're a big man already.
Is
that really what the case is?
That is not how the case is.
How did it all begin? Take us through the beginning of the whole Buz Stop Boys journey, how it's looking currently. A few things we need to know.
Okay, thank you. Buz Stop Boys all started with, as I always say, motivation. I grew up basically knowing nothing but service to mankind as service to God. My grandfather, who happens to be Apostle Dr. Engineer Kojo Safo Kantanka.
Your grandfather?
Yes. I'm named Safo because of him. I was named directly.
So you are related?
Yeah. Ooh. So he basically taught all of us to know that service to mankind is service to God. And I always say, he's the biggest volunteer.
Okay.
Because historically, back in the days where there was military rule, where nobody was allowed to even step out, he was out there with his men working for the states. They go to places and they were even carrying cocoa pots at the time, loading buses and all of those.
Apostle
Kojo
Safo.
That is the history of. So he's the biggest volunteer. So I'm basically inspired by that statement: service to mankind, service to God. To be able to use social media to deliberately change the narrative for the young people, because I feel like Obia, like one way or the other, everybody will grow old. But we need to be able to give those who are coming after us a certain options to choose from. If you look at our social media, it looks like everybody must one way or the other do comedy, because that's where a lot of people are yearning to follow and laugh. Yeah. But how long are you going to laugh when your stomach is empty, or when you are battling with malaria, cholera, typhoid, and all of those things? So I felt like we should be deliberate if we really want change. So it all began from the seaside. I love going to the seaside, and I get there all the time. I see a lot of trash running.
But you stay closer to the seaside?
No, I don't stay close. I have I believe I am not separate from the environment. The environment should inspire me when I'm feeling sad.
Okay.
So every Monday, which happens to be my soul days, lately because of a busy schedule, I don't really get time. But those times, every Monday I'm at the seaside. At least I spend 4 or 5 hours there, and I come back home.
Every Monday?
Every Monday.
Wow.
So I was bent on wanting to change the story of how trash ends up in the sea. So I've been observing, asking myself the obvious question: how can I help? And I realized that the filth is not coming to the seaside because those who came to the beach messed the place up. It's because our brothers and sisters in the communities are being so irresponsible, where they deliberately throw their trash into running waters, into gutters. So when it rains, everything is washed, and then the sea is the last receiver. That is why we have death at the seaside. So if we can change the story, then we need to go back and raise active awareness in the communities, raise more responsible and patriotic citizens.
Okay.
Then obviously the sea will get peace, or be at peace with the level of filth in there. So that's how it began. So one day, as usual, I got there, I was asking myself, how do I help? And then my mind told me to go and do Buz Stop Boys. And that's how I started. Yeah, so I believe that we should be able to communicate with ourselves. I always say this: my biggest friend and my biggest enemy is my mind, not anybody outside. Because if I lose myself, there's no point in anything that I like or hate. So I always build a conversation with myself. And so myself is my biggest fan.
So from what I get from your narration so far, it solely began with you.
Yes.
Just you.
solely began
Buz
with me.
Stop Boys, it's not as if you sat down with friends to discuss and have conversations about it, about this initiative from you being related to Apostle Kojusafo, Kantanka, having him as a role model and all that. You got inspired someday. Normal day at the seaside, and you felt like with everything that is happening, start Buz Stop Boys. On your show, say a common lack of ejuma at that time, the mouse inspiration.
No, before Buz Stop Boys, I had just come from Boko as a civil engineer by practice. I do road construction. So that's how I started. I had money to start with. So the onset, I was paying Bolaka with my own money.
So you had a job before you began Buz Stop Boys?
Yes.
Do you still have the job?
Oh, because of the nature of the Buz Stop Boys, now I cannot do the engineering as part of it.
What engineering got
It's also another aspect of engineering. We have post-construction maintenance. And so the MAA is one way or the other an aspect of engineering, because as part of the contract, when the road is done, somebody is supposed to make sure that it's constantly maintained to ensure its sustainability and lifespan.
So when it began at the seaside, you got the name Buz Stop Boys. You were an engineer before you started the whole Buz Stop Boys initiative. Did you ever hear that people actually felt this because there were no jobs? At that time, people go to school to whatever level, graduate with their master's degrees and everything, and they're unable to get suitable jobs. So they had to resort to, doing stuff that will generate funds in the meantime. Did you hear that you started Buz Stop Boys because you didn't have a job?
That is, if you don't know, that's what you say.
But did you ever hear that?
No, no. Okay, well, I have a couple of people say that Mungo page my papa being and all of that. But at the end of the day, when a man is drowning, even in attempt to rescue the man, they battle with you. So I see those people as people who are still battling with reality, because reality is that you cannot survive with this environment. So if you see anybody cleaning and you assume they are useless, it's your problem. When the air gets dirty, you all suffer from lung cancer.
Now, single-handedly, you started Buz Stop Boys. Who did you begin this with?
Well, after the idea dawned on me, I believe, like I say, I always have conversation with myself. So I didn't take it like a random thought.
Yeah, I know. Beyond yourself,
Yes,
certainly you spoke to someone.
I always believe that the head is like a radio reception. It absorbs several frequencies.
Okay.
It's up to you to focus on which frequency you want to align with. So as you sit here, there might be a frequency in my head, or I might get an idea that says, Accra autism. It's up to me to accept.
Member said that from the example be a mitiso. No problem. No punching me country.
See what is self-attack here.
Okay.
When that frequency comes, autism, it's up to me to either accept it in a negative way or to match it with your body and see that that's your nature. So the mind being a receptor, accepting several frequencies, up to me to decide which frequency I want to align with. And when the thought came, say, go and do Buz Stop Boys, I came back home the next morning. Because as somebody who has been an engineer, and I had a lot of safety boots and reflectors. So the next morning, I gave my girlfriend one. I wear one.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah, she was my girlfriend.
Somebody you give paper rupee, you are taking to the gutter.
Yes, because I always believe that behind every successful man is a woman. Women are so powerful. That's for me. That's what I believe. Because all of us, regardless of the stories we've heard, we all came out of women. So I believe that when you have the backing of women, a one way or the other ground you and make you much stronger.
As a civil engineer, is that what you were?
Yes.
And then you go to your woman. All this while, that's what she's known you for, that you're an engineer. How long were you guys in a relationship for?
Well, I would say like 4 or 5 years.
All this while, that's what she knows you to be. And then,
beyond that, I've been a taxi driver before. Back in Legon as a student, I had my own taxi.
Oh, you attended University of Ghana?
Yeah, I had my own taxi.
Taxi.
There are some of my guys today who are military guys, and they were washing my car. Aqua 4 room 108. When I come back from hustle, they wash the taxi and I go.
When you come back from hustle, sell the taxi. Is it like a taxi that was running on campus, or you go out?
No, outside campus. Campus, they Accra be a scan.
And your taxi driver no rebate.
Oh no, I'm
and your lady, she knew all this about you.
Yeah, she knew me when I was a taxi driver. From taxi, I bought another car. which is Toyota Get, which was working as Uber. So I was there on the Uber side. At the time, it was just Uber and Taxify.
Yes.
I think currently both.
Yes.
So before going on Uber, I was using the taxi alongside. So I was doing online and then offline. Then I used the Get to do the boat for a while. So 2019.
That's you and Kasana, you know they sit down.
Well, for me, I hate to be a burden. So
there's this aspect of it that I'm really interested in. Your woman knows you to be a civil engineer. You come home one day, and then you discuss beginning Buz Stop Boys with her. How's the reception like? Did she feel like, oh, you're okay?
It was good because it's not like a one-time thing. I'm somebody that always wants people around me to understand that everything will die, but the memories that we connect with people will live on forever. So if I'm able to help you and you don't say even thank you, I know that's the memory that will live forever. This body will one day will exhaust its time and will have to leave. So today we say big ups to Kwame Nkrumah, not because we met him, but because we went to Legon. We have seen motorway. We've seen the light. These are the memories that he left with us. And this is how Africans were leaving legacies. That is why our ancestors can give you vast land for you to farm on. Not because they are stupid, but because they understand that what lives forever is the legacies and the memories that you create with people. So she knows me for that. So when I said, let's go out there, let's raise awareness about the environment, let's clean as part of raising awareness, she didn't say a word. And she just jumped.
So it began with just the two of you?
Yes.
So you had the idea, you chose Buz Stop Boys. First of all, how did the name Buz Stop Boys come up?
The name actually, like I said, it was just dropped in my memory to go and do Buz Stop Boys. As part of the question I kept asking myself from the seaside, how do I help? So like the Buz Stop Boys, the name dropped in my head, Buz Stop Boys. The initial concept I developed for it was to be able to change how our bus stops looks. As it stands now, there are several bus stops that have a pack of trash somewhere, more or less like a baller stop. So, when somebody enters Ghana for the first time, the first place of contact is the bus stop. That is why it's easier for anybody to write stories and tell us we are the dirtiest in some sort of ranking. So if we can change the bus stops from the dirty looks to something nice, then we are good to go. So that's how it started.
You came up with the name Buz Stop Boys. Now, you are with your woman, your girlfriend, back then. Are you still with a lady?
We are married.
You're married now?
Yeah.
I won't say for Buz Stop Boys. Everybody, I won't say. Hey, I won't say Montana. I won't say. I say one sharpener, angel, home. As it stands, they are married. How long have you guys been married?
I think 2 years will be in November, and our daughter will just be a year old this month. It was on Father's Day actually. So this Father's Day, I know the work.
You be sharpshooter. I like that. So with the same lady, then indeed, if you find a bright woman behind you, things could actually come up the way you envision.
Yes.
Because with how you feel talking about your woman, it tells the kind of man you are and the kind of woman she is. She began this with you, and then who else got involved?
Okay, so the next person who came on is actually the 2IC second in command, which is Mr. Safo.
Mr. Safo.
Yeah, he was around Odoko.
But who is he to you?
He's been a friend for over 10 years. We have a clique back then called Team Brothers.
Did he also attend University of Ghana?
He attended UPSA.
Okay.
From Adizadel to UPSA.
So you knew him from Adisada?
No, I knew him. We've been to the same church, Christo Asafo.
Oh.
That is Kantanka's church.
Then indeed, you and Christo Asafo tights.
Yeah, that's
Talamutala. I like that. Yes, so just the three of you. So
after the first, let's say, piloting edition with my girlfriend, I explained to Mr. Safo, and then we tried to bring the Team Brothers, a lot of boys. Yes. So I basically just explaining the concept to other boys. I talked to 10 people, and I think 5 people on the day of action. Only 5 people show up, and so to say, we actively started with the 5, and we have been graduating small.
Where did you begin the first cleanup exercise with? Like where? Where did you begin? I mean to say, where did you begin the first cleanup exercise at? The very first one.
Okay, not with my girlfriend.
With
the one with my girlfriend started at.
You started
Malam
with
Junction.
Just your girlfriend.
The very first exercise was
it intentional? Was it that you reached out to people and they didn't show up?
No. For that very first one, I believe I need to walk the talk. I need to believe in what I do by doing it first before I convince you or tell you about it. So we did the first one. before Mr. Safo came in. And then after Mr. Safo, we decided to meet. Even with Mr. Safo, for example, in his premises, I showed him what exactly we need to do and how we want to do it. So the next morning, we went to Kaswa. That's where some of the boys also stay. Explain the concept to them. And there were even people who were suggesting that we should change the name to Clean Africa. And I said, no, the name has already come. We are not changing
Clean Africa,
the name.
Because
Clean Africa.
Okay, so the very first one happened with just you and your girlfriend.
Yes.
At Malam Junction. How was the reception like?
People were staring, and some of them also assumed we are Zoom Lion and all of that.
But how did you feel about that?
I don't really care. I believe your perception that you have about me lives with you. What I have about me is what makes me. If you think I'm stupid, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
To me, I am not. So I don't care.
Wise.
So I need to start laughing every time people insult, and I'm laughing.
Hey, Uzabi, you speak so well, and I'm proud of who you have become. You are still a work in progress, actually, but it's looking so good. This other bit of it is what I'm interested in. Now, I know about you. I know about your girlfriend. Would you like to mention her name and give her name?
She's called Ajua Oti.
Ajua Oti.
Otiwa. She's actually a sister to late Darcy Brejamina.
Really?
Yes.
Biologically related?
No, his father, like his father's brother, is Darcy Brejamina. So they are kind of brothers or cousins.
Okay. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Ajua Oti and then Kojo Safo.
Yes.
Was he named after Apostle Kojo Safo Kantanga?
Hey.
No, I mean your friend.
Yeah, Safo, Mr. Safo, yes.
He was?
He's Nanaya Safo.
Oh, okay. Now, I know about the three of you. How did you get the rest of the guys to actually partake or get involved? Because it's been approximately 2 years it all started for you guys, right?
Yes.
Since it all started. That's like, when is the anniversary?
July 5th.
July 5th,
Yeah, 2
years. How does it make you guys feel actually? Now, answer the previous question and then how it makes you feel when people mention you on the post. If you give this job to the Buz Stop Boys, they will do due diligence to it. They will make sure we have a clean environment and all that. After the three of you, the rest of the guys, how do you mobilize them? What's their inspiration? Who do you talk to? How do you get them? Because your numbers keep increasing by day. They keep increasing by day.
Okay, so like I said, after the first edition, spoke to Mr. Safo. We decided to meet the boys. There's Kwame Ba. He's an immigration officer, DSI of immigration. We spoke to him too as well. Like we've been boys all around.
Kwame Ba became Paluta manager, no?
Another way there.
Kwame Ba.
And I mean, I just explained the concept to them like that. So he, being an immigration officer, can only come on board when he's off duty. And that they know me, like all these boys that began this journey, we have been around for over 10 years. So I know all of them and how they understand stuff. That is why I didn't wanted to, explain to them before I start, because I know some of them might want to say that, oh, I'm not interested in all of that. So I need to start. Whether you come or not, I'm ready to work.
Once they see you running, they would get
and
a
they all
whole
came.
picture.
So we started actively. I think it was even 4 people, 3 people doing it, and 1 guy who was behind the cameras.
Wow.
So we started from the bus stop at Kaswa. After you descend the flyover, then on your right, there's a bus stop there. That's the first one that we did with cameras.
But how do you pick the spots?
The hashtag is making unclean places clean for free. So even I was on my journey to this place, I'm just throwing my eye around as though a new guy in Accra. Anything that will bring a dent on our image, then I quickly take videos of it, inform the team at large, we fix the dates, and then we go and do it. There's no specific criteria.
Okay, so it's not as if you have a particular day for cleaning. Let's say Mondays, Wednesdays, or Saturdays. You spot the place, and then do you have a WhatsApp group, like your various means of communication via your channel, whatsoever, but you're able to come up with a particular date you guys will be going out to clean? Is there anything of that sort?
We schedule on a weekly basis. So with the exception of a Saturday, which is more a day that we rest, it could be any day.
Because of the church you attend?
Yes.
On Saturdays you don't clean. Okay.
So this week, for example, we did Choco on Tuesday, and then tomorrow, Friday, we'll be at Dansoma Mass Road, and the Sunday we'll go to Tema. So the week has ended 3. The minimum we do for a week is 3.
So do you think interest to clean has increased currently? Like, I mean, when you call on people or when you reach out to people to come give a helping hand, from when you started till now, how is it looking? Previously, mobilizing people, I'm sure, would be very difficult because certainly money means need to clean to your satisfaction. Right now, putting them together, how easy is it?
Oh, it's easy. Like I say, a lot of people are, especially the youth, because that's exactly what I
Currently.
wanted to do. For a lot of them have now begun or are beginning to understand that we need to volunteer. I say God is the biggest and the first volunteer. God, when he was creating everything that we see today, there was no you, but he thought of doing something for free. So if you are an ardent believer of God, then you must be a big volunteer.
Okay.
The things that we do for free is the things that makes us, not what we do for the money. But that one, there's something attached to it. So you are doing it because of the attachment. But in our journey, we are doing it because we want to raise awareness and tell people that we are here not because of magic, but the environment is making us. Think of it, without tree, there is no oxygen. So I always say that there's no point in destroying the environment in the name of I want money, which is a paper from tree from the environment. So without the environment, there's nothing. So if you want more money, you protect the environment in order to have more paper to generate more money. So I can say that now people are getting the idea.
Sounds like a basic analogy, but it's very deep. But this aspect of it, what's the highest number you've been able to record through reaching out to people to come give a helping hand to clean?
210.
210.
Yes.
210.
Yes. We, the youth, are ready to take charge and clean our country. Because a lot of people want to flee out of Ghana. And when they go out there, it's still cleaning. So if you clean another man's country and it looks nice, why not do it in your country? So if leadership are really willing and ready, then I have seen over 500,000 jobs in Ashama and Tema. That will absorb a lot of youth. Cleaning is even for the European population, they have over 38% of their population working directly in sanitation. And that is why somebody like Mr. Funny, there's this guy from Netherlands who do a lot of, he's a cleaner and he's so happy doing it. A lot of them are doing cleaning. Coffee gaps, yes. Yeah. So if we can also pay youth well, give them some cool 2,000, 3,000, 1,500 cedis a month, and then we allocate, let's say, every 100 or 1 kilometer to, let's say, 5 youth or 10 youth to clean. Multiply 5 youths by 100 kilometers of all the problems in this country. How many youths are getting employed? So we should be deliberate about the change. Give opportunity to the youth to clean. I'm not doing this because I want to be in the cameras, no. But I want people to understand that the life starts with the environment. And once you get the environment on a good, angle, investors will come. Things will change because inspiration is also born from air. And imagine breathing in air that is polluted. You never get inspired to do anything good. That is why one way or the other, the collective consciousness or the collective awareness in Ghana is bent on negativity. So everything that we are saying here, look at the positivity we are pouring out. But let's make a negative comment. That is the angle that will ride the most. It's because everybody is yearning and ready to listen to something negative. Yeah. So once you drop a negative news or comment, it runs so fast, which is bad. No nation will grow.
Talk of negative comments and negative perceptions about what you do. Have you ever had a negative comment that got to you that made you feel like bah?
I've gotten a lot of them. But
which one do you remember?
The one I remember, the guy was like, "Mungo page my papa binya." It was during election, He said, "Mungo page my papa binya." NDC by pamu.
Really?
So they thought, we are doing this. They're proud to be elections. The government has employed us to be cleaning, for election purposes, all of that. And there are people who actually, I remember one time whilst we were on the other side cleaning, the other guy on the other side urinating. That is the level of disrespect. But I know that when somebody is
drowning... was it on purpose? You guys move with security personnel at times. Obi ni abawo. Obi or the bed tonechi. Actually, ni bibi kakri bi.
Oh no, that one also bring another angle of confusion. So
because in recent times, I think I saw a video on your page where someone leaked and you brought the person to book.
The police was around, so they actually saw him, and then they asked her to gear him up and give him a place to clean.
And that happened?
Yeah, it happened, which is also another way of changing the story.
Would you be happy if that is introduced or passed into law?
Yeah, that would be very nice. Imagine people who are seen throwing trash into gutters, giving 100 meters of a choke drain to the silt. Cameras are on them. They are being shown on national television. that is the deliberate way of changing the mind.
People will deter from that.
Yes.
Okay, what's your biggest challenge as a business currently? Because I know there is a business aspect of it, and we have the volunteerism aspect of it. What's your biggest challenge currently? If someone is willing to extend a helping hand, what do you think Buz Stop Boys as an organization needs currently?
Well, currently with Buz Stop Boys as an NGO, what we currently need is more equipment like street sweeper. Imagine this age where there's abundance of technology and AI. We are still with brooms out there sweeping. It doesn't work.
So if you get a street
sweeper can do the sweeping with just about 2 people, one driver and another guy behind monitoring. And they can sweep all the way from Achimota to Jolo in 30 minutes and sweep the other side back. So always the road is neat. It is not out of white man being just white. That is why we have their road being clean. I always say cleaning is a continuous process. I've been brushing my teeth every morning, and this morning I did. So we don't clean and assume that, oh, I clean, so why is the place dirty? As long as people are moving in and out, it will get dirty. So with the street sweeper, it's just going to make the job easier for whoever is sweeping.
So currently, the major request for Buz Stop Boys, currently the topmost on the list of things you need.
The topmost will be the van. Our way of transporting these volunteers around is a tricycle. So far we have 3. Abuboya, yeah, we have 3 Abuboya.
You personally own 3?
Yes. The first one was bought to us by Mr. Aldis. He's from Latvia. He's the first man who bought as our first tricycle.
Is the person in Ghana?
Yes, he's the CEO of A1 Diesel.
Okay.
Behind Bank of Ghana on the Spinters stretch.
Okay,
Mr. Aldis.
Aldis.
Yes.
Okay.
He's from Latvia. He bought us our first tricycle in 2023, December.
That was just like the beginning of the...
Yes.
I think about 5 or 6 months you began.
Onto the journey, yes.
Yeah.
And the second one
you got attention quickly. People recognize what you guys were doing within the shortest possible time. You were seeing, people knew about you already and all that. Now, Mr. Aldis, and then
the 2024 President Mahama also gave us 50,000. No, ShattaWale gave us 30,000 first.
Yes,
that was deposited somewhere to be able to get a mini excavator.
So it wasn't for the cameras, like people said.
The ShattaWale
is 30,000.
No, that was actually the seed money that began the journey for the mini excavator.
Then indeed, ShattaWale has actually played an integral role.
Yeah. You know, Shatta has a lot of people. After Shatta too, the engagement went. People began.
So ShattaWale, you know, be give you 300 million to Tiska.
Yeah.
30,000.
30,000.
That's not the first time we are hearing ShattaWale do stuffs of this sort. It means his contribution to the youth is not just word of mouth where he comes out to say, hey, Munko pay Jumanya, hey. He's actually contributed. Charlie, that's... Yo, I'm going to sing for ShattaWale. Why are they? Big shout out to ShattaWale. He's for there. And then that also helped you guys get...
We kept that one aside. 90. And then President Mahama, as then opposition leader, gave us 50,000.
Wow.
Yes, and then 29,500 bought the new tricycle to be added to the already existing one. And then on the third one too was donated to us by the Sassy ladies. These are a group of ladies who are also into helping voluntary people. So that's how come we have 3 tricycles.
People, so it has been through donations and people acknowledging what you guys are contributing to society or community. This aspect of it, Sikasem, what about 30,000? What about 50,000? I hear 80,000. You are working with humans. Your wife, Nana Alsafo, the 3 of you, the people that comes on board, upon hearing the president of Ghana, dead former president, 50,000, 30. How do you handle that aspect of it? Because wherever money they, even twins, self-go-fi fights, confusion go-fi happen. Do you deal with that all by yourself? How do you go about it?
Well, for me, I always say I'm just being myself. And so if you come and you think it's about the money, you leave the next morning. Because before you even join, I told you it's about promoting clean and green environment through patriotism, volunteerism, and selflessness.
So not
These
manism.
are the keywords, yes. But regardless that, anything that comes, we make sure that we share for everybody to have their fair share. And also, when we are working and somebody gives us money, that is for the location. Everybody that's around will get some of that money. But ShattaWale giving us 30,000 is not for the location, but for the organization's growth. So those monies are kept somewhere to be able to procure equipment.
I like that aspect of it. So there are monies you share at the location.
Yes.
And there are monies allocated to the organization.
Yes.
Ni nyina ya shen but won't mean fan be confusion.
That be that.
Buz Stop Boys in the building. So if you get money or we generate funds at the location, we share it at the location.
Yes.
Because you are contributing to whatever factor that brought us the monies you are getting there. But if someone donates to the organization,
That be.
the 210 people, how did you pay them?
They were not paid. On that day, it was just as usual. Let's go and clean.
Volunteers.
And then they came. But that one was more or less like a clean party. There was food available, music playing. So you eat, you drink, and chill. And that's it. When we are done, you go back home.
Okay. You've met the president of Ghana?
Then in opposition, but
Currently?
in power, not yet.
Are you looking forward to meeting His Excellency, the first
of
gentleman
course.
of the
I
land?
say he's the father of volunteerism because he supported us, in terms of big men. He's a big man who saw what we need. At the time when we met him to our numbers shoot, because President Mahama,
really?
opposition, then opposition,
He
President
gave you more
Mahama,
eyeballs.
He gave us more eyeballs. So I'm wanting to meet him to say that the 50,000 that you gave us, part of it has brought us a mini excavator. And I also suggest to him that as part of fighting debt in this country, we can also give a lot of opportunity. More than 1 million youth can get jobs directly in sanitation, and that will ease the pressure on unemployment.
Okay. A few more questions, about 3 more questions, then I leave you to attend to other stuff, because I'm sure as it stands right now, some places have debt with them, they need you guys, because our people, more tete no more pam, no more tete. The YEA, Youth Employment Agency,
Yes.
Malik Basintali, speak, or you talking about 1 million jobs for the youth. Are you thinking of finding a way to get in touch with him to let him know your vision, or you've done that already?
Oh, he reached out to us, I think, a month ago. And then we had a conversation about.
Was it with regards to the other company? Is it Zoom Lion? You say, is it a job you guys think you can do? Are you in the capacity currently?
Nobody started life straight away chewing bones.
Okay.
Everybody started chewing meat.
Answers, they all will be power. What's your marking scheme?
Yeah, so I believe we have more youth than necessary. That no matter the task,
Okay.
it's not just me going out there to say that I'm cleaning the whole Accra.
Okay.
It's about saying that there are so many youth who are unemployed. So if I have the job,
So is that an opportunity you embrace, like with both hands?
if why not?
Do you have
Because
the numbers right now?
I don't even have to have the numbers. There are already people, walking on the street who are jobless. There are people in traffic selling pure water and they make 50 cedis profit. Some don't make even any profit at all. And aside from that, the scorching sun, the horn from drivers, the likely being knocked down by vehicle are all related risk. And I'm sure people at Kwashima, when they have the opportunity to clean and earn 2,000 cedis a month, they will abandon being in the traffics. So try, So it's not just about me. It's about the opportunity for young people, for us all to begin to understand that without the young people, we want the economy to grow. We want the economy to be better. We want Ghana to grow. It won't go nowhere, because when the elderly dies and there are no capable young people to take charge, there's no point of in nation.
You are oozing with wisdom, actually. Buz Stop Boys has actually been an educative and an interesting conversation with Kojo. The full name is?
Heneba Kojo Safo.
After Kojo Safo Kantanka, the legend. A great man, actually. He has impacted all of us. Just before you go, your last request to people that are capable, or if there is anything you'd like to tell the youth out there, or to us Ghanaians, it's raining season. Whenever it rains, it floods, and then a fool be dying, a fool be car, people lose their lives, properties, and all that. What do you have to tell us?
Well, I rather want to tackle it from this angle to speak to the youth, especially to understand that there is a principle to life. And one of the principle is your mind. Your mind, the mind works just like a computer. If you go on Google and you type in, let's say, international, you are going to get links and suggestions that connect with international. That is how the mind works. So you no longer have to spend time thinking out, using your mind to think about things that will not benefit you anything. because like the computer, if you spend your time thinking about problems, the mind is meant or designed to give you more problems. But if you design your mind or you schedule your mind to begin to think about solutions or what will make you better off, or it will make you better off in the next 10, 20 years, then the mind or the universe, like a genie, will give you more related links to serve the purpose to which you position your mind. So henceforth, if you are watching me, pay attention to yourself, own your thoughts. Make sure that 90% of the time, your mind is thinking about you. And that is how you make it. White man is not better than you. Chinese man is not better than you. This is the principle they are working with. So they deliberately put attention on themselves, and that's why they become bigger. Don't waste your energy pushing or thinking about things that will not benefit you. How long are you going to think about, do concern about people? The more you do concern about people, you are basically giving them your energy to keep being bigger while you become a slave of yourself. So be yourself. That's the most important thing. And let me end by saying that now with your cameras, your free will is back. A lot of people are nurses today because then they had no free will. The system says you must be a nurse. My mother says I has to be a teacher, and you were teachers. But now you have cameras. Show us what you truly represent. If it's about helping people, record every scene of it. If it's about building and creating stuff, record every scene of it, because the world is moving from I have certificate to I can create and invent this. This is what I have for you, youth. And if you listen to this message, not because I'm telling you, but the words that I'm speaking out to you, if you pay attention to these words, it will benefit you, and probably you give thanks. I believe is we need to be deliberate about change. Africa and Ghana has gone through a lot. And we can no longer feed people with things that benefit us.
You seem to have a lot to say, actually, because when I listen to you attentively, you take my mind very far. Oka mind as no, I mean, they say we here because last time I can mind as miti kese and all the boss. So then you have to say what can we have with miti and them. It's been an interesting conversation with the Buz Stop Boys. Stick and stay on this channel. If there is a need to continue this conversation, there certainly would be another edition of this one. The name is Don Ichiketeki Dadia Nam Dadia. So thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, and thanks for subscribing. Get to know that when you see me in town, you can holler at me at Biggest Ichi. You say that. We out of here.